Hiya, welcome to Craftwerk. I'm Ruthie and I am back with another video. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long. If you saw my last video, you'll know why. I just needed to take a bit of a hiatus whilst I moved house and started a new job. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do as many videos as I would have liked. In fact, I think it's about a month since my last video. Sorry. I was doing a video a week. That's not going to be sustainable for a little while. Maybe I'll get back to it, but for now I'm just going to do videos when I can to keep it fun and enjoyable, so I hope you will stick around for that. So without further ado, I'll get into the video. Today I am doing a pattern review, and this is something that I have made for my new job, for work, and it's been pretty good for it, but we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. It is the Ruffle Sleeve top from In the Folds for Peppermint Magazine. So yeah, just like the Peppermint jumpsuit, this is another free pattern which is a collaboration between In the Folds and Peppermint Magazine. So it's obviously PDF only. Basic things about the pattern, as I said, it's free. It's a boxy top with ruffled sleeves gathered just here. It's a V-neck and it's got two bust darts in the side, but otherwise it's very loose and unfitted. It's meant to kind of flare out. For lots of people it would count as a crop top. I definitely prefer wearing it with high-waisted things just because of the way it is, like quite boxy. When you bend over and stuff, obviously it's gonna like rise up. So yeah, just bear that in mind. If you like your tops a bit longer, you might want to lengthen it or stay clear of it altogether. Either way, that's the style. I've seen quite a few versions. It's very popular, like the peppermint jumpsuit. Lots of people make it because it's so simple and it's free. And it does have some like rave reviews about the instructions, etc. So I saw loads of versions on Instagram and Pinterest and stuff that I really loved, but I wasn't quite sure about it for me or whether I really needed it in my wardrobe. However, when I was sort of like working out a work style, particularly for my first couple of weeks, I wanted to go a little bit less casual than I might do now or a little bit later on. There's no dress code at all, it's very casual. For the first couple of weeks I knew I'd want to be a bit more formal, plus it's useful to have formal things for when you have specific meetings or yeah, a particular reason why you want to be a bit more formal. I realised I didn't have a lot of like long sleeve tops that I could wear in the summer that would be cool, so when I bought this linen, I didn't originally have this top in mind, but when I was thinking about what I could make, the pattern came to mind and I already had the fabric, so I thought, why not give it a go. The fabric that I got is from Rolls and Rems in Lewisham, and it's a linen viscose, I think, so it's the same blend as my black peppermint jumpsuit, so I knew that it would be, yeah, pretty good for this because it's got a bit of structure from the linen, but there is still some movement and drape to it from the viscose. Plus, the viscose means that it just doesn't need ironing, which was again something that I really wanted because I'm getting up early to go commute, and yeah, sometimes you're in a bit of a rush and you don't want to have to iron it. The other thing is, it's summer and linen is ideal for that. Also, the good thing about linen, especially if you're making something long sleeved, is it does mean it does kind of work for winter as well in a lot of cases. So anyway, on to the pattern. It's aimed at beginner, I guess. The level is kind of like 1.5 out of 5. So yeah, maybe not your first garment, but definitely an early garment. The instructions are really clear, which I've come to expect from In the Folds. And it also recommends and kind of describes in the instructions using a French seam for all the seams, which I think is really good. I love a French seam finish. I don't think it takes that much longer than anything else. It's just basically sewing the seam twice. And the best thing about it is it means that Everything is really neat on the inside, and I think it makes your clothes last longer as well because there are no raw edges, so when you're washing your clothes and wearing them, you're less likely to cause any fraying. So to me, it seems a lot neater and a lot like longer lasting than even overlocking, etc. So yeah, I really recommend doing that because there aren't a lot of seams, and it's a good time to practice your French seams as well. And don't worry, they are not as scary as they sound. As I say, it's just basically sewing the same seam twice. As usual, I didn't make a toile, but that's partly because I was short on time, and it's not super fitted. The things I worried about is because obviously it's got a similar neckline and dart placement to the Peppermint jumpsuit, which are two things that I particularly needed to change when I made my second jumpsuit. However, I just kind of went with it, and I think in this I'm not too mad about the V being a little bit higher than I would like. Definitely could come down a little bit further, just for my personal preference. I think that suits my body shape a little bit better. The bust darts I did lower by about an inch, just because I knew I would need to do that, and I'm so glad I've actually managed to get them in probably the perfect spot for me. But other than that, I didn't make any changes, and I followed it absolutely exactly as it says, which is a little bit unusual for me. It also has a facing, which is how the neckline is so neat. The facing, I think, sits at the wrong place for me. For other people who have maybe a higher apex and higher bust, this might be okay, but for me, it just sits right on the apex. So I think if I was to do it again, I would either lengthen the facing or just make it a lot shorter, or bind the neckline instead, because I don't think I would mind there being stitches there. I don't know, but either way, the facing does just kind of sit at the wrong point, and because of the hem on the facing, it's a little bit bulky there in this material. Definitely, if I was making this from something sheer, which I think would look lush, I would definitely lengthen the facing maybe all the way and almost double layer it. So that's really my only issue with this. It's a very, very simple top, so there's not a lot that can go wrong as long as you like the style. It doesn't suit me as much as I was hoping it would, put it that way. Maybe if it was a bit more cropped in some ways I would like it. It just sits at that exact point, so I have to be really careful about what bottoms I wear. I definitely have to wear something a little bit more fitted. I like it with shorts, I like it with skinny jeans, I like it with my Lander pants because they're quite fitted at the top, but I was hoping to be able to wear it with culottes and actually just find it makes me look like a tent, which looks great on some people, but for me I need a little bit more waist definition. However, I have worn it loads. I actually wear it more on the weekend than I do at work, just because, as I say, I really like it with the shorts, and that's the time that I want to wear my shorts at the moment, especially with this hot weather. It's time that my legs saw a little bit of sun for once in their lives. Hopefully they will stop looking so luminous sometime soon. Maybe not. Anyway, if you are thinking of doing this pattern, give it a go. If it looks like it's your style, definitely give it a go. If you're big, it's free, so what have you got to lose? If you want to make a toile first, you can. It works really well in so many different fabrics that you could definitely make a wearable toile out of a cheap fabric. As I say, this is a linen viscose, so it was about £5 a metre, which is absolutely not huge money, and I think I made this out of probably just over a metre, which I think is great. So it's also another great stash busting pattern. I'm also excited to use the block in some ways, maybe with a little bit of altering at the bottom. I think it would look nice without the ruffle sleeves, and I might do that as well, just because it's nice to have some simple basic woven tops for work as well. But yeah, otherwise I am really happy with it. I have worn it loads, and I really recommend the pattern. Obviously, I'll link to the pattern and everything I've mentioned down below. Unfortunately, Rolls and Rems don't have an online shop, but if you are in South East London anytime soon, do go and check them out. I really love them, and I'm even closer to them in my new flat now. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you everyone for sticking by and waiting. I do hope to get back to posting a little bit more regularly soon. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and you can head over to Instagram and Facebook and follow me there. And I also have a newsletter on my website if you're interested. That's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!